Dysfunction, especially
Right.
when they made mainstream. But 12 Shades of Grey, that one was a lot. The recording was a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
But they also had the your kind of your old like kind of early '90s grunge, where they know from the acoustic to electric acoustic.
Right. Yeah.
But and you know it's been a while. Obviously, it's the one of the biggest songs that I'm sure everybody knows. If you haven't, then you've been sleeping under a rock.
Yeah. It. They're a band that I love because they were able to take their sound and make it a little bit mainstream as well, yet staying true to who they are and everything. And um, 12 Shades of Grey is just a great album, and it's one of those albums that I think a lot more people got into after they got big and everything,
Right.
that they were able to really listen to. When, Dysfunction, it was metal, basically.
Oh
It was
man,
just
like
metal.
Mud Shovel was
It's-
amazing. When I first heard the song, I was like,
yeah.
"Who is this band?"
Yeah, I was the same way when I heard it on a rock station here in town. I thought, I've got to get this CD. I don't care, I'd never heard of the band, never heard of Stain, but I just know I have
Same
to get
here.
the CD because I know every song on there has got to be phenomenal, and it was. So.
You know what? Just before, just a little bit more sidetrack here. I've seen Stain quite a number of times, and a lot of times I saw them playing with Korn, because
Yeah.
Korn would be the time to like, right, and a huge fan. So, no, I've seen Stain quite a few times, and you know what? Aaron Lewis, he's a great vocalist, but man, he is a boring guy to watch. You might as well give him a lounge chair and a margarita, like you know.
Yeah.
But that aside, like he still does an awesome job. And man, I got lucky to see two things with it playing live. One was on the Sick and Twisted tour, so it was during their Korn's album Issues.
Uh-huh.
So Dysfunction was still kind of getting popularity, that sort of thing, right? So
Right.
what happened was before Korn went on stage, Stain was opening, and they wanted well they were going to break the Guinness Book of World Records for the loudest PA system.
Oh, wow.
And so they had Korn had Stain come out during their set and cover their song "Need To" off of their self-titled album.
Okay.
And man, was that an amazing cover! Like you don't realize what range Aaron Lewis has till you hear him cover Korn's "Need To," and then later in the show, man, they covered Tool "Sober." I was like, this is amazing.
I've heard that one as well. That was as good a cover as I've heard of any song when they covered Sober.
Yeah, man, I was very impressed because you either do it right or you do it wrong. There's no in between at all.
Especially with that song and Tool and everything. You're not going to cover them and do an okay job. You're either going to, just like you said, you're either going to do it right or it's going to fail.
Unfortunately, but yeah, it was. Let me tell you, it was something else. But again, I've sidetracked way too much. We're here to talk about your music, JJ. I do apologize. So,
You're right.
before we get to our next song, when you put this album together, were the songs? I mean, I know you had ideas for each song, but were they like kind of like were there a few maybe really old ones in there, or were they all kind of relatively new within the past couple of years?
One that was old. All the other ones are relatively new. The only one that was old was Home, and it was one of the first songs that I had written, and just always been in me to want to get that song out there as much as I could, because I think it can reach a lot of people. And so when it came time to put that album together, it has a good acoustic feel to it, I think. Even though it's got some layers of electric guitar over it.
Right.
But yeah, Home is one that was written a while ago that made its way on there. So.
Well, you know, and let me ask you this then: when Dissociative was put together, did you have like a certain idea in mind as far as what you wanted for arrangement, or did you kind of take it day by day and just kind of slowly kind of plan it out and put together so it sounded better than you actually wanted?
Yeah, well, the original idea coming into the putting it together was for the song to have a good acoustic feel to it, for the CD to have a good acoustic feel to it, because it had all those songs written out acoustically, just singing them. And at first we just decided on that, but we also decided, okay, it's not going to be too soft acoustically. We're going to have some heavy elements in there, and so we laid down the drums first. Buddy of mine, Garrett Crow, who laid down the drums and helped on some of the other instrumentals as well. He also sang on there. He was able to knock out the drums in one setting, all the drums for the tracks, and so we did that. And after that, it just came about layer by layer by layer by layer, with what each song we felt needed,
Right.
And it was just me and him jamming them out together, basically, and we would just decide, okay, yeah, this is we like this. Let's go with this. Let's lay down a bass line along with the drums and acoustic, and then let's layer it after that, and then just see what happens. And so that's kind of how it got put together, basically.
Now, did it take a while to kind of figure that out? Because I mean, they're very, in my opinion, they're very strategically placed as far as flow goes.
It took about 6 months to lay everything down, just because it was kind of hard getting studio time,
right,
and everything, and so and whatnot. So we would have ideas, and we'd have to sit on them for a while, which ended up not being a bad thing because it didn't get rushed. So so yeah, it took about 6 months to lay down, but overall, happy with what came out. So that's really all that matters, I guess.
No, absolutely does. So next up, we're gonna get to In All Honesty off Dissociative. This is JJ McGuigan. Dig this.
In the open field where everyone has gathered, I find there's no one there for me. Locked away in my room, I try not to think about the reasons why I'm on my knees. And in all honesty, I've been searching for someone like me. To be honest with me now is the only way to climb back to the light and face the day. 'Cause I struggle just to stay alive and keep my sanity. 'Cause without you in my life, who am I to be? And in all honesty, I've been searching for someone, someone like me. Searching for someone to set me free, to set me free.
In all honesty, JJ McGuigan. Now this one, JJ, was really catchy. I like the slide on especially. Yeah, this was a great tune. Like it flowed very well. It really, yeah, it was a great tune.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was. We made this at the basically Garrett's basement, and it was originally a finger picking acoustic guitar, and then we just decided, well, let's just strum it, and so, but that allowed for the slide to come in, and that kind of, I don't know if you call it a Western feel to it, that it kind of had maybe a little bit of something like that. But yeah, it was a tune. There were more lyrics in the song, but we thought it would be good to have it. We ended up just shortening it a little bit for the sake of it not sounding. We'd rather sound it. We don't want to have it sound like it drug on a little bit.
Right.
So it was one of those. We kind of cut out some lyrics and whatnot, and so we just decided to go with it. And I think it's about a 2-minute and 50-second song, which is pretty good. And yeah, we're pretty happy with it, definitely.
Right on. Now, my next question would be is like when the whole album was finished and it was starting to be pressed. This happens sometimes. It's almost like buyer's remorse. Did you have any regrets after it started being pressed, or were you cool with it?
I knew that once it got done, that might come up. So I just made a commitment to myself. I'm not going to feel that way, no matter what. Even if something sticks out, unless it was just something that, we released the wrong take on every song and whatnot, But it was overall. I'm trying not to be too picky about the final thing. It was just kind of one of those deals where I think we did a good enough job, and it definitely, and nothing really stuck out at all. Nothing really I felt we needed to stop what we're doing and then let's go back.
Right.
So yeah, it was kind of one of those deals. I made up my mind beforehand not to do that.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories. I don't mind telling you. So
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't end pretty. Let me tell you. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely.
So coming up, are you going to be playing any live shows, or what's happening with that?
What I'm in the process of doing right now is just working with Michael, trying to get this one out there, as well as working on another one, another 5-song EP that I'm working on with my friend Brian Elwick, and he's a phenomenal guitarist, and he sings, and I sing, and so we're just gonna see what we can put together. We've got 3 songs pretty much laid out, and then 2 we're starting from scratch, and then after that, it's when we're really gonna see if we can, put a band together and hit up some shows and whatnot. We'll have a good 10-song set right there.
Very cool.
And so, so after, once we get that done, we'll get a live band together and everything, and start hitting it up.
That'd be really cool, man. Let me know. We'll see when I'm promoting you here in the show.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up, JJ. But thank you so much for being on the show, man. It was a lot of fun. Like, I really enjoyed talking music with you, which is what this show is all about. It was a great time. And big shout out to Michael Stover from MTS Management for setting this up for us today.
Yeah, definitely. This was fun.
And I'm gonna get you on the line just for one moment, JJ. But thank you so much. All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Anytime, I'd love to have you back. Anytime you want. All right, guys. This has been Dr. Bones and my special guest JJ McGuigan. Until next time, we'll talk to you soon. Bones out.